Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is Mohammed, your personal PMP coach from Certified with Ease, coming back to you guys with another brand new question video. Listen, before we begin, quick announcement, very important. We all know the PMBOK Guide 8 has been released. We all know that the exam is going to start changing soon. In fact, the exam has already started to change according to my students. They're introducing different questions. They're adding more drag and drop. There's more hotspot questions. The nature of the exam is changing. This is a message to you to take this seriously, take advantage, get certified before it changes, because it sucks to have to do everything again. Guys, I've been through that exact struggle. I know how hard it is to work 9 to 5 and have a couple of hours left to study. This entire program that we devised that's on my screen is for people like this 9 to 5 professionals that are just strapped on time, that need the fastest way to get certified. 30 minutes a day for 30 days. We've helped thousands of students. We have 800 currently enrolled. Our YouTube videos have garnered hundreds of thousands of views. You've seen the mindset videos. You've seen how we solve problems. The next step is to actually book that appointment with us. Let us show you, let us help you out as much as possible. You'll be able to check out the program. You'll be able to see if this is something that is a good fit for you. Don't wait. Get certified before that exam changes. I don't know what to expect in the new edition. Hopefully it's not much, but again, we don't know. And start applying to jobs. Start getting more opportunities. Okay? So a quick announcement right there. Again, we include everything in our program. Everything you basically need to get certified. Okay? No extra things. No boring PowerPoint slides. No long videos of explanations. Everything you need to get certified is in this file. Awesome. So that being said, let us continue on our journey of solving problems. Okay, so 96. Now remember, you know what? In this video, we're going to do something a little bit different. In the previous videos, we've been solving questions by looking at the answer first. We are going to solve the question now by reading the question first. And that's exactly what you should do for the exam. So we're going to pretend that we are taking the exam right now. Okay? Mohammed, you're taking the exam. Vivek, you're taking the exam. James, Mary, Jonathan, you're taking the exam. All right? Don't freak out if I called you out. I'm just naming some random names I could think of. Anyways, 96. An agile coach and technical writer for a globally distributed agile team are in a country with a 9-hour time zone difference from the agile team. That's important information. Globally distributed. The agile coach and project lead disagree on the timing for the daily stand-up. The project lead thinks the stand-up should be at 10 a.m. local time, but the agile coach and technical writer feel that it is inconvenient for them. What should the project lead do? Okay. How does a project lead ensure adherence to agile practices? But in other words, what should the project lead do? Globally distributed team. What's our problem statement? That's the first step. Globally distributed team. Everyone's scattered. There's a time zone difference. The project lead is saying, you know what? We should have the time at 10 a.m. Right? What should we do? Inform the agile coach that daily stand-up will be 10 a.m. local time. Ensure all parties can attend. Okay. Remember, management is okay. We're not trying to be managers in the sense of dictators. We want people's feedback. We want to hear from them. We want to see what people think. Escalate to management. So we never want to escalate. That's principle number 8 from our principle list. Have a discussion with the team on the approach and come to a decision and when the daily stand-up should be. Beautiful. Have a discussion. Take a step back. Discuss with your team. Your team members are your experts. That's 2 principles. And the question involves the team, so why wouldn't you not want to discuss with them? Have 2 separate daily stand-ups, one for agile and technical and one for the agile development team. So not only is this inefficient, you're also separating the team. If there's important information that needs to be mentioned to the entire team and is not mentioned, for example, to this agile coach and technical writer, it's a problem. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go with C. That should be the answer. And we got it. Okay, awesome. Okay, so again, guys, if you like the mindset, if you like how we solve problems, we use strategic ways to solve it, book that appointment again. I keep pushing for it because I want you guys to take advantage before this exam changes. I'm hoping that they don't change the situation based part and make it much more technical. That would be awful. That would be awful because that would mean that you'll just have to memorize things, which at the end of the day, they can do that. They've done that before. 97, a project manager receives a suggestion from a team member for improving the product attributes without impacting the schedule or costs. This will add value to the project and customer. What should the project manager do? Okay, so there's a suggestion. The team member suggests something. And remember one of our principles, we should never reject an opportunity. Okay, so over here, um, reject. Let's just write this. Reject. Oh, reject. Yes. Never merely reject the opportunity request. Okay. So if we look at this question over here, reject the suggestion and ask the team member to focus on executing the plan. So that's out, literally. Okay. You'll see on your PMP exam. You can note this down in your notebooks. When the core problem focuses on a new opportunity or suggestion, one of the answers will always say no to it. They'll phrase it in a nicer way. They'll say, you know what, we should just focus on this project execution and we shouldn't focus on this. We shouldn't get distracted. That is along the same lines as rejecting. Ask the team member to submit a formal change request. No need. We're not going for a change. It's not going to solve the core problem. Accept the suggestion as it has no accept the suggestion as it has no impact on the project. Okay, firstly, it has massive impact on the project. And why would we accept the suggestion if it doesn't have any impact? That's a strange answer. Ask another team member to validate the impacts of the suggestion. Okay, I don't like any of the answers here. D is probably the closest. What you would want to do on your actual exam, remember we found this from the web, right? So a lot of the questions here are probably not that great. And I'll call that out if I see any bad questions or great questions. And our course focuses on quality questions. We noticed that the number one thing that people need when it comes to preparing for this exam is not thousands of problems, but just a couple of hundreds of quality questions, and you're good to go. Anyways, I would as a project manager look at the suggestion myself. And I could have other team members, but I want to be involved in it. So I would say the best thing would be D. Okay. So Pilpios chose B. Ask him to submit a formal change request. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Number one, they say without impacting the cost, schedule, or cost. Okay. And yes, we still should submit a change request. But I would want to look at the change first. I would want to look at it first. Sorry, not the change. I would like to look at the opportunity first. We have a suggestion. Okay. I want to really analyze it. I want to look at it. So I'm not going to agree with the answer here. Ask teamer to submit a formal change request. I don't like D as well, but it's good to get your team involved in understanding and validating, especially the impacts of the suggestion. The PM receives a suggestion from a team member for improving the product attribute while implementing the cost for schedule. This will add value. We should take a step back and look at it. So again, I don't like any of the answers here, but I don't believe that B is the right answer in this case. Okay, rather, I would go with D, but a better answer would be, as the PM, I want to look at the change and discuss it personally with this specific team member. Find out more about the impacts of the suggestion. Okay, so and that's what you'll get on your exam. The answer should be the PM should have a meeting with this team member and look at the impacts of the suggestion, for example. Okay. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Again, looking at these questions from scratch so I can train my PMP mindset, but so that you guys could get some raw information, okay, as to how to solve these questions. Awesome. 98. During the third iteration of a project, the main sponsor retired from the company and a new sponsor, was appointed. The new sponsor is not familiar with the agile approach for project delivery, which leads them to request more control over the project team. What should the project manager do? Okay, problem statement is pretty simple. We got someone new, a new sponsor, but the new sponsor is not familiar with agile. So the new sponsor tends to take more control. And we know that in agile, the teams are self-organizing. So we want them to control their own projects. We don't want to manage them. They should manage their own projects, right? Schedule a meeting with the new sponsor in order to explain the agile approach and how teams are so beautiful. That's exactly what we just mentioned. Schedule, I like that. Take a step back. Review the sponsor request with the project team during the next daily review meeting in order to provide the requested control. And that's exactly what we're trying to avoid. So we're not going to choose that. It doesn't solve the core problem. Rather, it adds to the problem. Schedule an emergency meeting with the project team so they fulfill every request that comes from the sponsor. Again, it doesn't solve the core problem. It's counter-agile. Review the sponsor's request with the project team during the next iteration review in order to obtain a team discussion. No, we should schedule this meeting with the sponsor. All right, that's going to be the best answer. Awesome. Okay, 99. Okay, so again, guys, remember the 3 steps. I don't want you just to solve the problems. 3 steps: problem statement, principles, and then choose the best answer that solves the problem completely. Okay. On your exam, I know there's test anxiety. I was nervous on my exam as well, and I was just rushing through it. On your exam, you want to read everything carefully. A medium-sized company has been exploring new marketing tactics with regard to launching a new product. New product creation is no small task. In the end, it was too big of an expenditure for the company to undertake. What should the project man do in the future when working on a new product project? Okay, so this is similar to saying, what should the project manager have done to avoid the situation, to make the project more successful? Okay, so in this project, what happened? It was too expensive, right? We were trying to make this product. It was too expensive. We couldn't finish it, or we couldn't even get it complete. So what should we have done? Make use of Kanban boards so all stakeholders have a clear view of the project and provide their help accordingly. Okay. That's good. It's good, but it's not going to solve the problem. Okay. Train the team to first find the minimum viable MVP that will deliver value to the customer. Okay, so we like this. Remember that one of our principles is MVP, right? When we see the word MVP in the questions, it's a very powerful tool that the PMP loves to go back to. Okay, but they also have the word value here too, which is one of our keywords as well. But also it makes sense. Remember, a minimum viable product. When you're having a tough time thinking about minimum viable product, I tell my students this as well. Think about the Apple iPhone. The Apple iPhone is literally the same every single year or every other year. It's the same. That's exactly what Agile is. You have a phone. I don't have a phone with me right now, actually. Actually, I have a phone right here. You have a phone, right? You have the phone. And then next year comes by, Apple launches a new phone. The only thing that is different about the new phone is maybe it's slimmer. Number one, Apple really understands their target audience. They know that their target audience is not interested in features. Number two, they're using an iterative approach. They're introducing things slowly. They're getting that value, that feedback from the customers. They're taking that and they're refining it more. Okay? That's the best part of Apple customers. They're not picky in terms of all these features that are there. Right? They don't want a phone that folds in half and whatnot. But anyways, that's going to be your best answer. Because if we have a minimal viable product, at least we have something. We're not throwing everything away. Increase the contingent reserves and prepare the team for applying fast filling techniques. No, we don't want to increase the contingency reserve. We don't want to add more to the budget. Adopt a change management approach, developing products based on the same platform. So change management approach, a formal change management approach is not for product development. Remember, when the question says product in the question, and they mention product in the question, it's a agile project by default. By default, that's what you have to understand. So I'm going to go with B. Awesome, we got it. Okay, so a PM is managing a few innovation projects with high level uncertainty. The project manager is experiencing challenge with a large number of project change requests issued due to the nature of the project. What should the project manager do? Okay, so we got a lot of uncertainty, and because of that, we have a lot of change requests. Okay, so what should we do? Reduce the number of approvers required to implement a change request. Okay, so we never talked about anything about approvers. They probably mean the CCB, Change Control Board, but how is that going to solve the problem? The problem is not the number of people that approve the change requests. The problem is the number of change requests. Request sponsor approval for all change requests, reduce the number of changes. Some of these answers, right? Technically, it will reduce the number of changes if you think about it, but it's not solving the core problem. You're still going to have more changes in the future. What can we do? Initiate the number of iterations to reduce the number of change requests. Initiate the number of iterations to reduce the number of change requests. That is a very, very bad way to phrase this. I don't even know what they're saying. Add a fixed number of change requests allowed by the client on the project baseline. Huh? What is going on? Let me see. A project manager reminds you of a few individual projects of high level uncertainty. The project experiencing. So there's a couple of things wrong with this question. I'm assuming that they're using Agile for this project because we have a high level of uncertainty. But the problem with that is that we don't have a change request process. Rather, we have after the sprint, you have your retrospectives and your and whatnot, where you suggest changes. The client suggests changes. So, what is the best solution here? This is strange. Okay, let's try to use process evaluation. We're in the exam right now. Let's try our best. It's definitely not going to be A and B. It's not going to be A and B. They don't solve the core problem. If we initiate the number of iterations, but what does it mean to initiate the number of iterations? To reduce the number of change requests. What does that even mean? Guys, I need your help. I need you to tap it. Add a fixed number of change requests allowed by the client on the project baseline. This is a good answer, but it's very dangerous to do that. I'm not sure, guys. To be honest, I'm not sure. Now, by the way, this is a very poorly worded question, so don't worry, don't stress. If I have to take a guess, just because I don't understand what C is even saying, I'm going to go with D. But it has to be C or D, either or. Okay, so it's C. Initiate the number of iterations to reduce the number of change requests. All right. I'm not going to say no to it because I don't even know what they're asking for in this specific answer. Now, this is the problem with getting questions from the web. A lot of them are inaccurate. Again, if you're interested in getting some solid questions that cover every single topic you can expect, check this out. We have a section in our course called the foundational questions. They're about 200. Not 1,000, not 2,000. They're about 200. Why are they 200 only, Mohammed? Well, because they cover every single topic you can expect on the exam. So if you master those questions, you're good to go, right? And we have the most popular drag and drop topics. You have an exam variation that has 15 drag and drop questions, which is very, very, don't know. Hopefully you guys don't get that exam copy, but that's what people are getting sometimes, okay? So just to let you guys know. All right, awesome. So we got this one wrong, but you guys explained to me in the comment section. I misunderstood. I don't know what the question is even saying. Let me know. Let me know what it is. But let's move on, okay? So PM is starting a new project, and the project team, one second, project team is located in different countries. The team was going to use a specific tool to hold virtual meetings. However, the tool is not available in one of the team members' country. How should the PM deal with the situation? Okay, so virtual team, global. One of the team members does not have access to a specific tool. What should we do? Contact the project sponsor to have the team member removed from the... If only this was that simple, right? Right? But again, this is our principle. We don't want to create friction in the team. Why remove someone? Ask the team member to move to another location where the tool is available. That's a solution. Is it feasible? Is it feasible? It's probably not. Imagine this person is in Brazil, let's just say, and does not have access to the tool, and you're telling this person, okay, you know what? Move to Canada. That doesn't make any sense. Investigate. I like this. Principle number one. Alternate tools for virtual meetings that are available to all team members. Start the project and use email to communicate with the team member until the tool is available. Okay, so I'm going to go with C. Okay. D is strange because you need the tool, right? You need the tool, and we don't know when it's going to be available. It's one thing as well. Okay, awesome. 102. Halfway through the project sponsor is replaced by another peer who was not previously engaged in the project. The new project sponsor has rejected most of the project artifacts. All right, so what are project artifacts, Mohammed? Well, let's go to our course. Let's go to our cheat sheet terms. And instead of spending a whole page reading on a terminology, we can go on, what was it? Artifacts, right? Yeah, artifacts. Project documentation. Okay, now I understand what they're talking about. Okay, so, and the team did not get the latest increment approval and critical iteration. Stakeholders are not feeling confident about the project outcome. What should the project might have done to prevent this situation? Okay, so have done. So we're going back in the past now, guys. I love have done questions because it's simply about looking at the answers and asking yourself which one of these answers will totally mitigate the problem. Okay, so we understand the problem. The problem is we have this new sponsor. The sponsor's rejecting the project artifacts. The latest increment was not approved. There's a whole bunch of problems. What can we do now? Perform a stakeholder analysis when the sponsor joined the project. He was not or she was not previously engaged in the project. Okay. We got the stakeholder register, guys, for that. Held a governance meeting to review the project increment. Escalate the issue to ensure the increment would be approved. Conduct a product iteration review with the new project sponsor. Okay. So I see two problems here in the problem statement. Number one, the sponsor has rejected most of the project artifacts, which is a problem because we've already started the project. Number two, the team did not get the latest increment approved on the current iteration. Now, B, C, and D. So C is out because we escalate. But if we look at B and we look at D, if we look at B and we look at D, those focus on the increment only, the iteration itself. A is the step that you want to take beforehand. Why is it important to do a stakeholder analysis? Because we're going to understand who the stakeholder is. What do they bring to the table? What do they think about the project? Their influence on the project, this, that, and the third. And then we can start filling in the gaps if there are any problems. I'm going to go with A. Okay, is the answer here. So a lot of people chose D as well, but A is the first step you want to do. And this is a trick, guys. When you're stuck in between two problems, always ask yourself, what is the logical first step that I would do? That's your answer. Okay, so we'll stop here for now. I don't want to make these videos too long. I want to make them concise, and so you guys get some sort of feel, so you guys could keep up every day and solve some problems with me. Again, guys, we have a course ready for you guys. We've helped thousands of students get certified on this path using our course. When it comes to YouTube, we've helped hundreds and thousands of people, right? Hopefully all of them passed, but we've helped them. This is a tried and tested program. We want to help you get certified. So book that appointment with our program advisor, Shubs, who actually used the program and got certified in 12 hours. That's the record for now, 12 hours. I don't recommend that. I don't know how he did it. It's craziness, but it works. It works, guys. Okay, so book that appointment before the exam changes. We will see you guys in the next video.